Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Beers Per Minute. I'm your host, Mick Pettit. With me, as always, is Calvin Mile.
I'm here.
Are you here?
I'm here.
You're just here?
Yep. It's real hot here. I have my fan on, and I got the what AC I have right now is just pulling in air from outside and blowing it on my face. But we're about to go through a heat wave here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, and it's awful.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's supposed to
I'm
start
burning.
tomorrow, but it's already like 78 in my house. So
yeah, this studio is already hella hot again, and I just turned off the air conditioning.
yeah, this fan is helping remarkably well. I'm pretty impressed. It's circulating the air just enough that I'm not just like sitting in stagnant sweat constantly.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Yeah, no, we like stagnant sweat. We like the active sweat.
I had a lot of that today.
Yeah.
I worked this morning, and then I was outside working on my car. That's a pain in the butt. I have to take off the tranny pan because my transmission is shifting, says it's shifting, but it's not actually shifting past second.
Mm.
So I gotta figure out what's going on with that. You know, Subarus.
Yeah.
Fun joys with those.
One of my old Honda Accords had a really bad transmission issue where if you weren't going, if you weren't going above 20 miles an hour, it wouldn't shift out of first or second or something.
Oh,
Like it kind of turned it into almost like a manual. Like if you tried to shift out of the gear into like just drive anything, it would just like, it would act like it was dying. Like you'd hear like clanking and the car would shudder. And
weird.
It was not good, but you had to reach a certain mile and then you could shift, and it would lag. It'd be like, and then it would catch and then it would go.
Oh man, must have like a gear just like
I don't know,
burnt up or something in there.
It was a death trap after a while. I took it into Honda and traded it in for what we have now, and they were like, this car isn't really worth anything, but we'll give you $800 for the parts. Because yeah, it was like when the guy took it out for a test drive, I was like, okay, so to get it to go, you have to do this. And he just looked at me like I was insane, and then came back and he's like, yep, that worked. All right, yeah.
Yeah, you were right, sir. Yes, you were right. Car troubles are always fun.
I hate car troubles so much because I'm not mechanically inclined at all. So anything that goes wrong with my car is just money leaving my wallet, basically.
I can do most things. I don't like working on new cars. Even my car, it's an 06, and that's like almost too new.
Yeah.
So I have an old van too. That's like a 98 or something, 96 or 98 that I'm converting into like a cool camper with a bunch of pallets and stuff. I'm making it really cool. But that even has so much like in the engine and electronical parts and stuff. My old Nova that I had, you could crawl inside of the engine compartment. You could reach every bit of it.
Wow.
Totally fine. You knew if this wasn't the problem, then it's that. If that wasn't the problem, then it's that.
Right. There was
super simple.
There wasn't electrical issues. It was all mechanical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
what little electrical was fixed with,
right,
lick and twist,
like a spark plug or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now you need like an electrical engineering degree to work on a car, basically.
Yep. Like Teslas and stuff, you cannot work on those. You have to take them into shops.
Yeah.
Like, I could do it. No, you can't. I'm sure you don't even understand any of it.
Yep. Yeah. I've always wanted a Tesla, but they're pricey, and I don't know. I just can't bring myself to even save up for one. I just buy Hondas.
Honda's not bad.
Yeah, I like Honda. Wow, just stuttered like 3 times. I'm from a Honda family. Like when all growing up, my parents had Honda Odysseys. They wanted to get a Honda Pilot for a while. My first car was a Accord. My second car was an Accord. My car I have now is a Civic. My wife wants to get a Pilot. My parents now have a CRV. Like just all
ingrained into your blood.
Yeah. When my brother bought like a VW or something when he was like 18, everyone would call him a traitor.
Yeah, they disown him.
Yeah.
Well, I always said I'd never join a cult, and then I found the Baja, and now I own a Subaru. So
Yeah.
And it is a cult. If you look at it, like if you don't drive a Subaru,
Yeah.
especially if you live in our part of the woods, like
Hmm.
the Northwest is like ingrained with Subarus.
I know Tyler loved Subarus and Audis. Those are his two favorites. I remember
Mhm.
he had both of them.
Give me a V-Dub bus or one of those old like
Yeah.
smashed front faced like 70s vans.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I always thought the VW buses looked really cool. Whenever I see one on the freeway, I'm like,
them.
oh, look at that. That's so cool. Especially the
They're-
ones that are actually taken care of or like restored even.
The shaggin' wagons.
They look real fancy. And they always have curtains on the windows, like there's a bed back there. Like you never see one without curtains in the windows.
That's why it's called the shaggin' wagon.
Yeah.
It works on two levels because there's shag carpet in there.
Right.
I remember looking at an old Popular Mechanics magazine from the 70s, and it was this like 1976 Chevy van, like every white work truck you see that's a beater.
Right.
But it was banana yellow. And they opened the doors up, and it had a fold down table. Well, first off, it had like copper shag wall to wall ceiling, everything amazing. And it was like big old like half-inch shag table folded down from the wall. It had two bar stools in it that you could pop out and store.
Mhm.
Both of the seats were captain's chairs, so you could spin them around, so you could have four people sitting at like a table and everything. Oh, it was so cool.
Just turn into a room, basically.
This house.
That's awesome.
Yep. So that's what I'm trying to do with this van that I'm working on, because it's an old what's it?
It's an
Ford.
van?
It's a Ford Windstar. We got it for free. My dad asked about it, and this old lady was like, "Why, you want it?" Sure, we'll take it. And it was a good car. It worked for a while.
Yeah.
But then I got this new one because it's more reliable, and then it died on me. So, yay me. But I'm taking this one, and I got a whole bunch of pallets, and I gutted the interior.
Right.
And I'm going to camper van it. I'm going to use all these pallets and make it so it's something I can take up into the woods and just camp for a couple days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll take it to a Ren Fair or something.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do with it. I want to make it to be there was a spot that my brother and I went. Mm-hmm. There's a spot that my brother and I went to Rainier, bottom of Rainier. Is that where the ape caves are? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I think they're
that's St. Helens then. Yeah, it was St. Helens. Not St. Helens, because the ape caves were where it was the lava tube that one of the
ape caves are amazing.
They're awesome, but caves are my nightmare.
You don't like caves?
Oh God, no. But I'll go into them.
Ape caves is my favorite hike ever. I love it. I've been there 5 times.
Their stupid little sign of oh yeah, old people can go this way. Not when you have to climb up a shelf that is 6 feet high. There's no way an old person's getting in.
They shouldn't go the full way unless they have help. Yeah, we've been on that way, and a couple people in our group were a bit more heavy set, and they had to get 2-man helped up, one person on the bottom pushing, one person on the top pulling their hands, because you could not climb.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we had some tight little spots. And my brother went into one of the little holes because that's what he likes to do. And I'm like, oh, fine, I'm staying here. I'm not even doing that.
Yeah.
And maybe 5 minutes later, he comes back out of the tube and he's like, did you hear me? No. Well, I was screaming your name to see if you could hear me. Nope, heard nothing.
Wow. That's not good.
Yeah, so he's like, oh man, that was really weird. Yeah, he was just trying to, he wasn't stuck or anything, but he was just trying to see if I could hear him. Oh God.
Just in case, what if? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've watched Descent. That's that movie, that. Yeah, no caves. I'm sorry.
I love caves. I'm not claustrophobic as long as I can turn around. That's the thing for me. I can go into small spaces. I can be in tight quarters. I know some people get claustrophobic, even in crowds or something, because there's not enough room for their body to move around. I don't get claustrophobic like that, but if I'm in a point where I can't reasonably turn around and see what's behind me, then I get a little bit freaked out, just because I don't want to have to try to navigate backwards blind type of thing.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, there's one part, probably actually the scariest part of the Descent, and people will probably say no because there's other scary parts in it. But the most mentally scary part was because they're spelunking in this cave,
Mhm.
and they have to crawl through a little spot, and the lady's backpack gets caught, and she can't get through this like itty bitty little thing, and she's freaking out. That made me like die. I was like, no,
Take the backpack off.
there's no way. Like it
No.
was that tight of a spot. Like, oh, you're dead. You just live there now. You're dead. You're gonna die there. But she got through it. But it was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I found a good way to drink that gin that I bought.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it was the Tangerang, right? Tangeray or Tangerang? It's the one your parents like that Tyler was dissing.
Oh.
I think it's Tangerang or something like that.
I can't remember now.
It's the same brand that Snoop drinks, and he suggests people drink. So, Tyler, maybe your taste in gin just isn't as good as you think. But yeah. I got some White Claw today because it was, hot as the Dickens.
Yeah, hot as donkey balls.
Yes, exactly. So I got some of that gin, and I got some White Claw, and I just put a shot of gin of that because it's the lime one, lime. It's really good actually, and it has a little bit of gin flavor, but then it's like a nice lemony, refreshing drink afterwards.
Gin and citrus.
Mm-hmm.
That's always a good combination.
It's very good.
I had gin for the first time in like probably 5 or 6 years. A couple weeks ago, went to my parents' house for dinner, and they had the Kirkland gin, I believe, like from Mexico. They also had a fancy gin, but I didn't try the fancy one because I was like, I don't want to waste it. Like if I don't like it, I don't want to be wasting your fancy gin.
Right.
But so you know the story about how when I had gin that one time, I threw up after like one drink. So I thought that I was like allergic to gin or something.
Right.
So I wanted to try it again. I'm like, maybe it was just a bad gin. Maybe I would just ate something weird that day. Who knows what it could have been? I haven't had gin since that moment. So I poured myself like a gin and sparkling water and a little bit of fruit juice, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
After I finished it, I felt a little funny, but I didn't get nauseous. So maybe I just can't have too much of it.
That could be.
Because I know it's a super aromatic spirit. It's not like any other spirit. Like it's full of herbs.
There's one other one that it was Sucker Punch or something like that, and that was like a herbed whiskey. That was
I don't like herbs that much in general.
Yeah,
I like gin and juice. If you put sweet juice with gin, I will drink it. It's tasty. But I tried sipping it by itself. And I don't like it. Don't like anything about it.
I think it said you should try slow gin. That one's pretty good. You can actually slow gin is good because it's made with like a elderberries or it's made of some kind of berry.
Elderflower,
or is it salal? I think it's made with salal berries.
Those taste like deodorant. I'm not even kidding. Those taste like deodorant. Have you eaten those before?
Yeah, I didn't get that out of them.
No?
No, I never got. You ever touch something and you can just taste it?
Sometimes.
Like we have the not Tide Pods, but like the Kirkland brand laundry detergents, and the feel of those, it's so gross.
Yeah.
Do you remember your parents probably had them when you were younger, but they were like these little bath beads. They would have them by the bathtubs.
I vaguely remember.
They were just like a bunch of little balls in a container that no one ever touched, but they were always by the bathtub.
I think I remember something like that in my mom's bathroom.
Yeah, I remember licking one of those when I was really little, and because you're a kid, like, it smells good. Wonder what it tastes like, and it tastes so bad because it's straight up soap.
Soap, yeah. I mean, I also tasted soap because it smelled good, and I immediately learned that not just it smells good when you want to put it in your mouth.
Right. So these stupid laundry detergent things, I touched it and I went, oh God. Like it made me like
taste the soap.
Yep. That brought that memory right back. I was like, ugh. So I had an idea. I figured, how about we do a couple would you rathers? We've done that in a long time and you talk about like playing a game on here. So figure, how about we You do a couple of those. I got some good ones.
Yeah, we got some talking points. Ooh, that
Yeah.
reminds me, we do have the Ask BPM channel in my server
Oh,
that I
yes.
don't know, do you want to save that for when we have more people, or do you just want to do like we have like 34 questions in there? We could just do them now. I don't know if I wanted because I want to give them a good and proper discussion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I want it to just be us or if I want like more opinions. I don't know. What do you think?
We could throw them out there with like a guest.
Yeah, wait till we have a guest.
I think that would be good.
Okay.
We maybe try it next week. We'll get into those. We'll get into the Ask BPMs next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I figured we'd try this a little bit. So I got one. I mean, nothing too spicy. Okay. Would you rather drink a gallon of mayonnaise or a gallon of ketchup?
If it's American mayonnaise and American ketchup, like Heinz or Best Foods or whatever, I would pick ketchup. If it's a different country's mayonnaise, like Mexican mayonnaise or Chilean mayonnaise or Japanese mayonnaise, I would pick mayonnaise.
That's the thing I didn't think about. I forgot other people do mayonnaise different. So let's say like just the best American mayonnaise, so like Hellman's or Best Foods.
Yeah, definitely ketchup.
And then the ketchup, nothing all like fancy, but you do ketchup?
I would definitely. I buy Kroger ketchup now because it tastes the same as Heinz to me. I love ketchup. I put ketchup in my mac and cheese. I don't like. I could definitely. I could drink ketchup or eat. I mean, you eat both of them. You don't drink it. You eat it. It's not
you could.
I guess if you put it in a mug and put it in the microwave, it might turn into more of a soupy broth. But
you just put it in your mouth, you go like Jello.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could technically drink ketchup with a straw. I guess it would just it wouldn't fall down to the straw. You'd burrow a hole out the center and have to move the straw around.
Right.
So,
I would have to agree with you too. I'd have to go with ketchup because
yeah,
I watched the Glutton Bowl before, and the dude's just spoonfuls of mayo. Oh, yeah. that's just too much. Like I love mayo, but
have you had other types of mayonnaise besides like Hellman's or Best Foods?
Yeah, and I feel like the Hellman's and Best Foods is like the best tasting. Besides, like,
I don't mean just
the non-bleached.
I don't mean just different brands.
Oh yeah, like the different kinds.
Not American mayonnaise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, down in Mexico and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because compared to other countries' mayonnaise, American mayonnaise sucks.
Yeah.
Like it tastes like stale egg juice or something compared to other countries' mayonnaise. I actually made my own mayonnaise one time. I want to do it again. That mayonnaise was delicious. I could eat that whole jar with a spoon. That was delicious.
Man. I was seeing like recipes for it, and I want to try making it.
It's super easy. I could tell you the recipe. It's so simple. I memorized it because it's just amazing. You just take, depending on how much of a jar you want to fill, it's a couple eggs, a lot of oil. I use like vegetable oil or canola oil or something, not olive oil, unless you want olive oil flavored mayonnaise.
Right.
But it's like I think it's for every one egg, it's like 2 cups of oil or something.
Ooh.
Like mayonnaise is mostly oil.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of mustard because something in the mustard helps get the texture of the mayonnaise exactly right. I don't know exactly what it was, but it was like a teaspoon of mayonnaise. Of mustard in the mayonnaise, and then just salt and pepper to taste. Like it's super simple.
Interesting.
Yeah, egg, oil, mustard, and seasonings.
Huh.
And then you just take one of those like handheld little blender things, and you go and
the emulsifiers.
Yeah, emulsifiers, and you got mayonnaise, and it's delicious.
Oh, nice. I'll have to try that then. Maybe that'll be my like BPM homework. I'll make some mayonnaise.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make a couple of different kinds, like because my parents can't have, my dad can't have eggs, my mom can't have dairy. So, I wanted to try to make a mayonnaise that was relatively friendly for their like dietary restrictions.
Yeah.
But I haven't made any yet. But I want to get a couple different smaller jars and make like 3 or 4 different types of mayonnaise, like one for them, one regular, one with like a
ghost peppers,
avocado oil or something instead of a vegetable oil, and like try different flavors. I want to make one that's like a ketchup mayonnaise as well. I love ketchup mayo.
I mean, that's just fry sauce.
But well, basically, it depends. Every place has their own different mixture.
I mean, like to the roots, fry sauce is just ketchup and mayo.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
you can buy it at Fred Meyer. But the Kroger brand, they call it burger sauce. The Heinz brand is called Mayo Chup. There's another one that's technically Thousand Island dressing is fry sauce with pickles in it.
Yeah, Mac sauce too.
Yeah, Mac sauce. Yeah, but every place has
although Mac sauce is there's something in Mac sauce that's really good.
Yeah, probably just sugar.
Maybe
sugar to it.
I mean, I made was it last summer? Yeah, I think it was last summer. I made some gluten-free Big Macs because Bobby's like go-to burger from McDonald's is Big Mac. Like when she was pregnant with Riley, that's what she craved. So I went down to McDonald's and just bought like 10 cups of Mac sauce.
You can just order that.
That's what that's what I did. I just ordered.
I mean, like off the internet.
Oh yeah. But I was like, oh, well, I'll try this
at McDonald's.
Yeah, it was really good. And I even tweeted at Chef Mike. He is an awesome dude. He used to be the head chef for McDonald's, and like showed him the picture of it, and he's like, "Awesome! I want to eat it."
Yeah,
he's such a cool guy.
That's really cool.
He's super like invested with people and very interactive. Like I'm actually friends with him on PlayStation and stuff too.
Wow,
it's pretty great.
Your places and friends with the ex head chef of McDonald's.
He is. What's he doing now? I forget what his position is, but he's like maybe for Wendy's now. Like he went to Wendy's, something like that. Okay. So I got another one
too.
Got another one for you. So would you rather cry tiny rocks instead of tears, or sweat pickle juice?
Pickle juice.
You really?
Easy. That's easy.
What? You'd rather sweat pickle juice? You'd like constantly smell like vinegar.
For one, vinegar is good for your skin.
Right,
and your tear ducts are pretty small.
Yeah, so they're tiny little. So they're tiny little rocks.
Even if it was sand, imagine passing kidney stone every time you cry out of your eyeballs. That's what it would be.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna pick smelling like vinegar and having amazing skin over excruciating pain every time my eyes water.
All right. Yeah, I understand.
Because that would be horrible. Your tear ducts are tiny.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't. Yeah, that's not cool. I'd have to go with that too then. Because I mean, you just have to get constantly showering, or just do not exert yourself like at all.
Yeah, I mean, move to a cold area. You're not going to sweat very much. Even like you could regulate it pretty well.
Yeah, or just
you're still going to smell
alone.
Sure, something.
Yeah,
I mean, I try to avoid sweating as much as possible because I hate doing it. But I mean, if I lived in a colder area, I just moved farther north, and I wouldn't probably sweat very much.
That makes sense.
But yeah, you smell like vinegar, but whatever. You got to give me some harder ones.
I know. So I'm gonna say these ones are like not too spicy. All right, here's a good one. Would you rather peel off all the scabs a hobo has, or suck the socks that are full of feet sweat? So peel off all of a hobo's scabs, every single one of them, or suck on a sock that's full of like straight up sloppy slapped right off the foot.
I feel like these are dependent on a few different variables.
Yeah.
For one, how skeevy is this hobo? Right? Like, is it like a regular hobo, or is it like
he's got a lot of scabs. Like this is probably like a good this is a hobo.
Like, is it because of a disease, or does he just scrape himself a lot?
I mean, it could be from drug use and scratching and all that kind of stuff, but just like they vary in sizes.
Sure.
But all over the place.
Like they're all over his body?
Yeah, it's not just like, a couple on my arm. It's like he's got a good amount of scabs.
That sounds like it would have to be some sort of disease then, if he's got them all over his body.
Or he's constantly falling over and scratching himself.
I mean, under his clothes, it'd have to be a disease.
I mean, I've rubbed up against something and like, ow, that hurt, and then realized like, oh, it actually peeled the skin off through my pants.
I don't know. I feel like that had to be drastic. So like drastic, it'd be like it's a drastic amount of scabs that this hobo has.
Yes.
Okay. And then the feet sweat.
Yeah.
is it like, do they have athlete's foot? Is it like an athlete feet sweat, like a gym
I
sock,
mean,
or is it just like a regular person's normal amount of feet sweat?
I'll say you.
Because like my socks, even when I sweat, they make it a
So
little bit moist.
let's do that. It's the hobo sock.
The hobo sock.
The hobo sock, not just
After
any sock, but
after he was running.
yeah. So that either you peel off all his scabs or you suck on his sock that's full of sweat, and you don't know how long he's been wearing that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been on there for a while.
I think I have to go with the scabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually would agree too, because I can't do a sweaty sock.
Yeah, if it was a clean person that had sweaty socks, I could see maybe doing that just because you know that it's clean.
Well, I don't know, because it depends on the foot though too. Even the person's clean, because you well done be doing laundry and you're going through the socks and you find that one that's like, is that clean? And you give it the sniff test and it's not, and it's nice and crusty. You
got crusty socks.
Sometimes you've been working, or I have a child.
Yeah.
So.
Socks is just full of pee.
Oh no, she peed in her vents a long time ago.
She peed in your vents in your house?
Yeah, because she had a vent in her room, and we had our furnace, and she peed in it because it was easier than to go to the bathroom, which was like 5 feet through the door. Dang. Don't pee in your vents, children.
I'm gonna have to make sure to cover up the vents in Ramona's room, I think.
Oh yeah,
like put a dresser over it or something. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
It kept my coaster.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are some variables that could make me change my decision, but if we're just going just off hobo sweat or hobo scabs, I'd probably pick hobo scabs.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we'll find some better ones for next time. You'll have to come up with a couple too. Then
maybe I'll query that in the server. Be like, hey, give us some good would you rather's.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Tell us or email us too at beersperminute@gmail.com.
Oh yeah.
Tell us what you want to.
Send in anything, even.
Yeah.
A question, a comment, a threat, or would you rather, or
anything like that.
Of a duck. Anything.
Duck. Yes, duck. Yeah, let's emphasize that. So I went to a comedy show last night in Raymond. It was the Joke Masters comedy again. And Jeremiah was there. He was hosting.
Nice.
Because the host had to bail, so he took it over. But it was him.
Everyone's bailing around Jeremiah, apparently.
So it's him and Anthony Schumann and Gabriel Rutledge. So it's really funny. Jeremiah's from Aberdeen, Anthony's from Shelton, and Gabriel's from Olympia.
From locals.
So Gabriel's opening bit was like, they got the best comedians. They are the only comedians they could find within 100 miles.
That's awesome.
He was hilarious too. I mean, Jeremiah had a good set, and Anthony was really funny too. But Gabriel killed.
Yeah,
he actually grew up here in South Bend until he was like 11. Yeah, it's so good. Check him out, Gabriel Rutledge. He's very funny, and I gave him or he gave me his card, so maybe we'll have him on at some point. That'd be really cool.
Be fun.
Yeah, and he's got his own dry bar special, I believe too. He's been doing it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, the Joke Masters have some pretty good guys, for sure.
They do
a good repertoire of comedians.
Mm-hmm. I know I got to start writing some more of my bits. I got a couple good ones, a couple stories that I might share.
Yeah.
There's some good. I've never had anything like crazy go on in my life, but I've seen some weird stuff. There's been
you gotta make a joke out of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Cool.
Make fun of myself.
Self-depreciating humor is a classic for sure.
Yes.
So speaking of drinks, I recently purchased some Whiskey Stones after Tyler showed his off a couple episodes ago. They came with 9 of them, little cubes that are solid granite.
Sweet.
I did research to find out what the best rock for Whiskey Stone is, and apparently granite can hold like the cold temperature for like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So where they work really, really well as Whiskey Stones. I haven't tried them yet, but they're in my freezer, and I'm excited to.
Awesome. Yeah, those things are really cool. This nice hot weather, I've been started grilling today. I grilled up a pork loin.
Oh yeah,
Turned out really good. It was like nice and tender, and just only took maybe like half an hour or two.
I love pork. Pork is probably one of my favorite meats.
Yeah.
Everything pork is amazing. You got bacon bits, you got pork chops, you got pork roasts, you got tenderloins,
Pulled pork.
Mm. Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with pork.
You got was it luau pork? Yeah.
Luau pork, yeah. Yeah, I think it's one of the most versatile and most delicious meats, probably.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for delicious wise though, I don't know. Because just if you just have like by itself just a piece of pig.
Mm-hmm. Like ham.
Yeah. But I mean just like straight up just a
like
steak.
If you were
just a pork steak.
Just fire or something, or
like no seasoning, just a piece of meat.
Like okay, so just a pork chop.
Yeah. Just no seasoning or anything. It's good. It has a good flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it like the standards, meat of pork and chicken and beef like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think beef has a little more flavor, in my opinion.
It depends. I think because I feel like a good beef steak is a different level than a good pork steak. Like it's more expensive. It's like a whole different grade. So like if you were to get a steak that was the same price as a pork chop, the pork chop's going to be better.
Probably because you're expecting it to be at a certain level.
Yeah. And
that makes sense.
Personally, the way that my wife makes the pork chops in the air fryer, it kind of caramelizes the fat around the pork chop. And
air fryers are amazing.
The steaks that she makes never gets caramelized fat. The gristle just is gristle. It just stays gristle. It might melt into the meat a little bit and give it some flavor, but I still end up cutting off gristle off my steak. Whereas the pork chops, the fat turns into like kind of crunchy and like a nice texture. I enjoy the fatty parts of the pork chop the most. So I think that's a big plus for me. Like even like fancy like T-bone steaks or others, like because I think we normally buy ribeyes, but I've had a few different types of steak, and I'm always disappointed with how much of the steak is actually meat and how much of it is either bone or fat.
So that kind of depends on how you cook it too, because usually the fat's the best part of the steak. If it's got like a good, it's still squishy, but it's got like a good sear on the outside of it. Oh yeah.
I think it depends. Like I love marbling, but if it's just it could be how you cook it. Because like if it just turns into chewy slime, then I don't want it.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So I always feel like I'm cutting stuff off of steaks. But pork chop is just perfect, always the whole thing. So
it's good.
Yeah,
Pet pork is good.
Although apparently caribou is like the perfect meat.
I've never had that. I'm hopefully going to get a deer this year, but
yeah, I've had deer, I've had venison, I've had elk, I've had.
You had it on like our first or second show, first one.
Yeah, I had the jerky.
Yeah, you had the jerky on the first.
Yeah.
Although that was jerky, so
yeah. I mean, I've had ground venison and venison steak and venison. I have elk in my freezer right now, actually. Ooh, that's loud. But yeah, apparently, did we talk about this? Or did I talk about this with my dad? That caribou is like the perfect meat. It can be, you can do anything with it. You can eat it raw. You can eat it cooked. You can eat it in any way you can cook anything. You can eat caribou like that. It's like
really?
It tastes amazing. It's like the perfect meat. Like it's just the most versatile and delicious in every single way. Like there's nothing that
weird
can't do. It's I've never had any, but now I want some because I think I was talking to my dad about it.
I wonder where we can get them. Like
they're in the north. I think there might be some in Alaska and like northern parts of Canada, but it was primarily an Inuit food. They would hunt caribou.
Okay.
And I was talking to my dad about how up in the north where it's super cold, they don't need to buy freezers, obviously, because it's freezing outside. So after they hunt and kill a caribou, they would, butcher it, and then just put the meat in like a styrofoam container outside their house.
Mhm.
Because it's just turned into an ice chest.
Yep.
And then to eat it, a lot of times they would just go outside with a knife and cut up part of still cold. I think the styrofoam is to help make it not totally freeze, but just to keep it really cold. Because they can go out there with a knife and cut a piece off it, and they bring it inside and they put it in warm water for like 10 seconds just to defrost it, and then they eat it right there. Just raw.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but something about caribou like doesn't have bacteria in it. It doesn't have any harmful parasites. Like it's like the perfect meat. I don't really.
That's I guess I know nothing about caribou.
Yeah, so now I really want to try caribou now because
we'll have to find some then.
Definitely find some caribou because when I had raw horse in Japan, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just I want to try more safe raw foods, obviously, that are delicious. So that's definitely a bucket list goal of mine is to try some raw caribou at some point.
I wonder. There is the meat place in Yelm that gets a bunch of stuff. I don't know if they might be able to get it.
Could request some caribou
because I think they can get like kangaroo and stuff like that. So,
I mean, I feel like if you can get kangaroo, you can probably get caribou because caribou's closer.
yeah. I want to try kangaroo too. I heard that's pretty good. It's like deer.
The kangaroo jerky I had wasn't bad, but again, it's jerky. It tastes
seasoned.
Mostly like the seasoning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be good to try too. The one thing I don't want to try is the eyeballs of the caribou.
No, thank you.
That's apparently an Inuit delicacy. The eyeballs were the fanciest part of the caribou. They would eat them like they were candy. I don't want to try that. I have no desire to try an eyeball.
No, I mean neither. I don't think I could.
Yeah,
I think that's like I might try brain. But
I could try a brain stew, maybe.
I mean, like if it was cooked in front of me, I could probably do it. But
maybe
I don't
like if they cooked it like a steak, like on a hot grill in front of you, and then cut you off a slice or what? Because I think brain.
Yeah, I mean, like that would probably be. Yeah, I mean, I could probably do that. Like I like liver and stuff.
Oh, you like liver?
And heart? Yeah, liver and hearts and stuff. When we, my brother and I went to Skal in Seattle. We'll have to go there too. It's a Viking meat hall. Cool. Awesome. Asir Meadery is the dude that supplies his meat there. Go check his stuff out. He's in Everett. Give him all the support. He's an amazing dude, and his meat is great. We had duck heart skewers. Ooh, they were so good. Super duper rich, but they were really, really good. Yeah. See, we had those. We got venison, pork belly, and goat cheese skewer. And then he got pickled eggs, and I got pickled herring with like a third of a loaf of bread. It was really good. Awesome food.
Cool.
So we'll have to make a trip up there. And they do these really cool things too called like feasts. So they do like, for two people, it's like half a rabbit, and you get half a rabbit plus like 3 sides. Nice. That was like deep. That came from like right here. Yeah. Whew. But they like goes up from there too. So you get like half a rabbit, and then you can do like a whole leg of a lamb or like leg of a goat, and then they get up to like one that feeds like 8 to 10 people, and it's like 3 or 2/3 of a pig or something like that, or half a pig or something like that.
That's awesome.
It's like, yeah, it's really, really cool.
I love big food.
Me too. When it's like that, it's like, ooh, yeah.
I was super excited about for the Ren Fair was getting a giant turkey leg or something.
So that will be the one in August that we'll go to, which is the Midsummer's Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
And that one's really good. That one's the big one. That one you'll get your turkey leg, and they are great.
Yeah.
And the after hours, like at the Hammered Troll, and there's another bar area too, is always the best. Because you just hang out and drink music. The last time that I went, it was with Cole and Rhonda, and it was right after they were married, so they were all being lovey-dovey, and it was just me and them. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go wander. You guys are obviously
didn't want to third wheel it too much.
Nah. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna wander around. So I started wandering around, and came up to this table, just a bunch of people there. And I went, "Hi, you mind if I sit down?" Sure. And then they're like, "Yeah, we got like 4 bottles of mead. Go ahead and help yourself."
Ooh.
It was great. And I met a dude. His name was Dagan. Like Dagan, and he was like a big black guy too. Like, that is the best D&D name and personal name. Like,
Sounds like a Viking name.
Like Dagan. It's really cool.
Dragnar.
And then right. I got to know him like pretty well, like pretty good group of people. And then all of a sudden there was some drama that happened. Somebody lost a purse or something like that. And then somebody else in the group found it. And the lady was so happy, and there was tears. "You just found my effing bag, and I'm just so happy." I just don't like it was great. And then the one guy was comforting her a little bit too much, and I had they made a comment, and I was like, I think you need to roll for BS on that one. And Dagan for the win reaches down in his pouch and pulls out a D20.
Of course.
Bam, nat 20. And he goes, "Yep, they're lying."
Yep. That's awesome.
So good. Like, one of my best experiences at that one.
Instant friends.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see if my beer makes any sound when I open it. I probably not, because it's just a regular glass can, but let's try.
Oh, nice.
You hear it?
Yes, it did.
I'm almost running out of these.
Oh yeah, that's the Familiar. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
I used to get home from working at the diner, and I'd stop by the gas station and grab a not a 40, a 32. For some reason, the Coronas are in a 32 instead of a 40.
It's a quart, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they have those at Deer Creek gas station too. They're amazing.
But everything else is in 40s, besides Coronas. You got 211 in 40. You got Old English in 40. You got Bush in 40.
They're all in aluminum, though, right?
No,
they're in glass.
No, the 40s. The 40s are plastic or glass. Okay. I know Old English is usually in glass. Bush is in glass because like the big, brown bottles. Edward 40 hands. I'm gonna try that sometime. Be fun. Try to pee without being able to undo your zipper.
Well, because these are made in Mexico, so they don't have to listen to Old English standards.
Yeah, all right. But it's like you'll get a 40 at Corona, you get a 32.
Yeah, I just like that it says 1 quart on it. Like the 40s can't say that; they say 40 ounces, like a couple of pansies.
40. I was at a party one time, long time ago, and we were out on the porch. People are out. It's really hot in the house. Whenever everyone was out talking, and a couple of people showed up to the party. And a couple black guys, and one guy, he had an Old English, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't do that." And he looked at it, and he looked at me. He goes, "Well, you are white." Touche. That is true. Mean? Well, have you never seen an Old English malt liquor?
I don't think I've had one.
Oh God!
But
it's like 211 like high gravity beer, but it's a 40 ounce of this just malt liquor.
Sure.
And it's like 8%.
Is it like the Steel Reserve? Or something?
It's like that, but it's like that's before Steel Reserve. Like this is the stuff that
I did drink Steel Reserve one time because it was cheap and giant, and I just wanted alcohol. I never had one, and it tasted like stale Budweiser.
It's gross. When I first turned 21, that was our drink. Like me and Drew was like, "Oh, it's like $5 for a 12-pack, and they're 8.8. Hell yeah, we're gonna get this."
Exactly.
Borderlands and 211. That's what was going on at that time.
But yeah, I bought that, and I think I was hanging out with Tyler, and so I brought that to his house or something, and he was like, "Why are you drinking that?" And I was like, "Oh, it was cheap, and it's tolerable." He's like, "That's hobo beer, man." Mm-hmm. That's what the homeless guys save up their change, and they go buy a Steel Reserve, and then they pass out.
No. They buy the high gravity. They don't buy Steel Reserve because the Steel Reserve is the better of the two. That's for when you.
I've never even seen high gravity before.
Ugh, they're gross.
So
Although,
maybe in my gas station they buy Steel Reserve.
well, so it's high gravity Steel Reserve, so that's the better one.
I don't know.
That's what it is. Because the name, the brand of it is High Gravity.
Interesting. I didn't even know that. I just saw Steel Reserve on the
it's
can.
211. Last time I had that, I had a 12-ounce can of it, and I put probably maybe 3 fingers in a pint glass. I filled it with Clamato, and I still could not drink it.
Yeah, this 24 ounce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 24 ounce High Gravity Steel Reserve is $2.30 at Safeway.
Mm-hmm. And you
that's
will
after,
get your $2.30.
That's after tax. That's tax included.
Yeah, like you will get your $2.30 worth out of that beer. That is exactly what that is for.
That's why I bought it. I was looking at beer in the gas station, like ones I hadn't had before, and I was like, "That's cheap."
It sucks. You can never go with like the cheap one, and you can never go with like, ooh, the nice expensive one, because they're both going to be real gross.
The nice expensive one's not worth the money either, even if it is good. Like,
yeah.
If a beer is $10, it's not worth it.
I mean, unless it's got like a high content, and you only need one of them, and it tastes good. Like if it's got a good content and it tastes good,
I could see that with like a barley wine, maybe.
Oh, see, I can't do barley wines though.
Yeah, you don't like sweet beer, that's why.
Yeah, the sweetness.
Yeah. I like the sweetness.
Like I like this sweetness because it tastes like this tangerine.
Yeah. I don't like White Claws that much. I like Trulies. Trulies are good. Have you had those?
I didn't care for those ones too much.
I think that the Truly has a way better fruit flavor, if that makes sense. Like maybe the White Claw has a better alcohol flavor. I don't know.
Well, I feel like I can't taste the alcohol in White Claw.
Yeah.
I can't taste the malt liquor in that, but I can taste it in the other ones. I can taste that aftertaste of alcohol. With White Claws, I can't taste that.
Interesting.
Hence why I can mix it with gin and be like, this is tonic.
I think White Claw is a good happy medium for hard seltzer. Definitely. But the Trulies that I've had taste like fresh fruit seltzer, if that makes sense. Like the fruit flavor is way better than a regular hard seltzer. Yeah. So I enjoyed those.
I've seen the cacti ones and the bud ones, and I haven't tried either of those yet.
Devin buys the bud ones. It's funny because they're called like Bud Seltzer Hard Soda. Like the name is weird.
Yeah, so you have the Bud Light seltzers, and you have the Bud Light Seltzer Hard Sodas, and then they have their new ones, which is the Bud Light Seltzer Cocktail Selection or some bull crap like that.
I just thought calling it Seltzer Hard Soda seemed like an oxymoron. Like, pick one. Is it hard seltzer or is it hard soda?
Because it's hard seltzer, but it's soda.
How?
Because it's a subsidiary. Because they're just using the name. That's all they're doing. They're just taking the name.
Anyway.
Did I tell you the first time, like when I first started podcasting, because we're talking about Budweiser and stuff, we were like, man, that was really good. I'm going to try to reach out for sponsors. Who are we going to try to get for us? Budweiser. Yeah, they'll sponsor us. Of course, they're not going to sponsor a stupid little podcast like 3 guys in an upstairs room.
I don't even think we could get any sponsor right now, even of anything. I don't know. It'd have to be like a local Pacific Northwest, like mom and pop company that's like, yeah, we'll pay you $10.
BetterHelp is really good at sponsoring things. Like they like to do that.
Yeah.
And like I'm a big advocate for therapy. Go ahead and like do it.
Mm-hmm.
I was against it for such a long time, and I don't know why I was. Because it's just a nice third party to talk to, and you talk about whatever, even if you don't have a crappy week or anything happening.
Yeah.
It's just like sitting down and chatting. And you don't have to do it every single week. You can like split it up. Then they charge you for the times that you actually like your sessions that you make.
Good.
And you can like live chatting with them all the time. It's really good. Like I really like it. I know a lot of people are anti-therapy, but
I think being anti-therapy is silly. But I also think that, how do I say this in a way that makes sense? Being anti-therapy is silly because there's obviously some issues that need therapy. Yep. Not every single person is healthy mentally.
Yes.
But on the other hand, I also believe there are some people that have issues that therapy isn't designed for, and so therapy wouldn't really help them. Like they're wasting their time and money on the therapy because the issues they have are not that kind of thing, and but they still go to therapy. So I don't know. It's like a there's a weird line, I feel like, with therapy.
You have to like, if it actually works for you, then it works. If it's just you're just going talking to somebody and it's not doing anything, then stop.
Right. Yeah, if you're going to therapy and your issue's not getting better, maybe
then don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the saying? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
Exactly. Yep.
Man, this week I said the same thing and he just didn't understand. Well, of course he didn't understand. You're saying the same stupid thing.
That's what I feel like people are doing on that show, Wipeout. Have you seen that show?
Mm-hmm.
Where like they always fall in the mud because they're dumb. Every time I watch it, I'm like, are these people? Do they pay them based off how many ridiculous times they fall, or are they just actually that stupid? Because
I think really does come down to they are way too cocky and they think they can get it and they do the exact same thing. Like, well, they slipped there, but I'm not gonna.
I don't know. It's just dumb. Like, because you can, especially when they're going through a place that has things that like swing out and hit them and knock them off. They're obviously there. You can see the outline. You can get hit by it once and then go back up there and you'll know it's there. But I just saw a clip of a lady going through one of the Wipeout courses where she got hit by the same thing in the face in the same corner like 7 times. She was stuck on this one part of the course because it would hit her and knock her back on the course, and she'd get up and go back up the stairs and get hit in the face again and fall back down the stairs. Like, it was the exact like 7 times. I'm like, do you get paid for that specifically? That's why they're showing the clip? Or like, are you just stupid? What's happening here?
That's awesome. Well, the first one was like disorienting. The second one caused the concussion. And then third one was the memory loss. And the fourth one was just like, I fight or flight, and I'm just going to fly through this. And then the concussion again. So there's your... it's a vicious circle. That's what it is.
I always thought, like, if I got on this show, I would just slaughter because these guys are idiots. Like, but I can...
Oh, that's cocky, though. That's
I am. I think it depends on the course because some of the courses are slippery. The slipperiness I can understand. Like trying to jump on those giant balls covered in water, that would be hard. Mm-hmm. But like going through a jungle gym or a maze or stairs that have things that jump out and hit you, avoid the things. You see them.
Yeah. My favorite one of those shows is the MXC.
Yeah.
Maximum Extreme Elimination Challenge. You seen that one? Where it's the overdubbed. It's like I think it's Korean or
it's an Asian game show.
Yeah, but it was on. But it's overdubbed with English voices. It's the best. It's so good. Yeah, so good.
Those Japanese and Korean and other Asian game shows are always ridiculous and amazing. I think there was a
poop blast.
there was a
Chris Raw Chicken. Sorry,
there was a Chris Farley skit actually about a Japanese game show, I think, and he like wandered into one because he was looking for something, and they just start like, all right, you're in the game show now, and like he ended up, you know what was going on at all. He didn't speak Japanese, and he ended up getting a car battery attached to his nipples or something, and like getting whipped.
Chris Farley was so good.
He was amazing. Yeah.
Like have you seen like all of his movies?
I've seen Tommy Boy and Black Sheep are the two I could think of.
Seen Beverly Hills Ninja?
I can't remember. I know what that is. I might have just seen clips of it. I don't know.
That one's good. That one's good too.
Yeah.
It's really funny to learn because I've been listening to the Fly on the Wall, which is David Spade and Dana Carvey. And because they came up in SNL together. Well, I guess Spade was after that, but they were there with Farley and everything.
Yeah.
And Tommy Boy was actually wrote off of how Spade and Farley acted around the office. Like the whole like fat guy in a little coat was something that he did. Mm-hmm. Where he'd go into his office and just throw on Spade's jacket. Fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
Like, so that whole movie is their whole relationship. It's great. Like,
And
it's
you
so
could
good.
kind of tell that from the movie too, that they had a charisma that was like obviously not just actors. You know, like they interact with each other like they were friends.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of thing with like Adam Sandler movies because he always casts all of his best friends in all of his movies.
Yeah.
Like the interactions between them are so authentic and genuine because it's just 4 comedians writing their own script in a comedy movie. And so it's amazing because they don't have to worry about like relationships and charisma and everything because they're all just buds anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So like, Sandler is a hard one for me to get into though. Like, I can appreciate him, but I do not have that love that people have for Sandler.
I don't think I would say I have a love for Sandler. I think a lot of his movies are really funny. Like one of the funniest times I've ever seen my dad laugh was when we watched Grown Ups.
Oh, that was a good one.
Grown Ups was a good one.
You had a lot of big names in there too.
Yeah. Grown Ups was really good. What is it? Waterboy?
Waterboy's good. I like Waterboy.
Happy Gilmore was amazing.
I think that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Or the animated one he did. The
can't think of an animated.
What it was the one about Hanukkah.
I don't think I saw that one.
It was pretty good. It was an animated Adam Sandler movie. It was like the only one. What is
animated Adam Sandler movie?
Let me see here. I'll pull it up. It was
Happy Gilmore has so many like quotable lines too, so it makes it funny.
Yes.
Get in your home, ball. You're too good for your home. Yeah, that was funny. There's a couple other ones.
8 Crazy Nights.
Interesting.
Here, I'll share the picture with you here.
I have not seen that one. What was the other Adam Sandler movies? There was one. There was one with him and Jennifer Aniston, where she was like his best friend, and then they ended up falling in love in the end. And it had Dave Matthews in it. Pick up a watermelon with his butt. I think.
I don't know.
Like the whole the plot of the movie was Adam Sandler carried around a ring in his backpack because he'd go on dates with women, and then he'd let them find the ring so that they'd break up with him. He it was easier than like having one night stands type of thing. Like he'd find women and then they would like, oh, how dare you, and they'd leave. And that was his whole thing. Was he'd just be with tons of hot ladies all the time because he's always getting a new woman. And there was one, I think, that he ended up actually like wanting to do more with, but she found the ring even though he tried to hide it, and he had to make up a lie that it was his ex-wife's ring that he carries around with because there was some reason, I don't know. And so then she was like, oh well, I'd love to meet her, and he had to go convince his friend, who was Jennifer Aniston, to play the part of his ex-wife and go on this vacation with them.
Oh.
And then they ended up falling in love, obviously. And Dave, I remember it was a really, really good one. The blonde lady that he was after was super hot. She was way hotter than Jennifer Aniston. But I remember Dave Matthews, Dave Matthews doesn't play a lot of actor roles, but he was in that movie as like kind of a bad guy, I think. And there was one scene, apparently Dave Matthews can actually do this. Like it wasn't like a prop. He picked up a watermelon with his butt cheeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it the murder mystery?
No, it was a comedy.
Murder mystery. Well, the name of the movie was Murder Mystery.
Oh, no.
That was 2019. No, it had to have been.
Let me look it
up.
Oh,
wait.
No, Murder Mystery wasn't it. That was another good one, though. That was a funny one. Let's see. Adam.
Just go with it. There you go. Just go with it. Yep. I remember that one was pretty funny. I don't remember Dave Matthews. I saw a clip of him tweaking the other day, though, on stage. Like real hard. Like he was on some shrooms or something.
Dave Matthews going downhill. I know he was really. My parents loved him when I was younger.
I can't stand Dave Matthews.
No,
that's one band I cannot stand.
Well, so there's different. So there's Dave Matthews Band, which has a bunch of guys, and then there's just Dave Matthews. He did solo stuff as well.
Oh, I got it ingrained into me during Dave Matthews Band, so I
Okay.
just don't care for Dave Matthews. It's like the dude from Fastball. Oh God, what's his name? It's that like '90s rock singer that went solo. Rob Thomas.
Okay.
Cannot stand Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
Like that's one.
What about Rob Zombie?
I like Rob Zombie, although I was very disappointed in the Hellbilly Deluxe 2. That was a while ago, but I was expecting the Hellbilly Deluxe basically sound, and it wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean I like the Dave Matthews stuff that I heard back when I was a child, like when my parents liked him. So maybe his recent stuff is garbage. I don't know. I also know that my parents went to one of his concerts one time, and he sucked live because he just got high on stage and played guitar without singing for like half an hour straight. Like just like he wasn't even playing a song. He was just like, "All right, we're just
jamming.
We're just gonna jam on stage." And my parents like fell asleep.
Wow! Oh, that sucks.
So it's like, yeah, they didn't like him live, but I know that they liked him a lot. Like the Dave Matthews Band, they liked a lot of his stuff. I think I still have a couple of his songs on my phone that I enjoy, like "Sista" with an A is a good one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, he has a bunch of misses that are kind of weird, but he's got some good ones, at least in my opinion.
So yeah, that's where I went to Tool. Like
it was Tool instead.
That was my because that was the same time as Dave Matthews Band. It was like, oh, this is the big one, but then this is the big rock metal dies. And like, I would rather listen to that instead of
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll listen to Tool's weird like moaning track.
I guess especially when you have to buy physical copies of all the music you want to listen to. You have to pick and choose what you want. You don't like because now, if you want to hear Dave Matthews, you go on YouTube or something.
Spotify,
Apple Music.
Easy.
You know, it's easy. Any song you want, easy. And so like you can pick and choose, and you can like plethora of bands. But like back then, you had to buy a CD or you had to buy a concert ticket. Yeah, my parents had all of the Live from the Mountain Music Lounge discs. You remember them? The Mountain 1037 The Mountain was an amazing.
I do remember that radio station.
I was listening to it the day that went off air.
Oh,
it was interesting. I was in my car driving to work, I think, and they were playing music, and all of a sudden it just kind of shut off. It was just silent. And then like 20 minutes later, I just left it on because I was like, this is weird. Like, what am I experiencing right now? I just left the radio station on, and then it just started playing smooth jazz. The owner of the station just kicked them off it, and then like just started playing smooth jazz, and then it played smooth jazz for like 3 days, and then some other station bought the number. It was weird. It was a weird little transitional period that I remember when the Mountain went off live.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I always thought it'd be really cool to find like or make a pirate radio station, like an AM station. It'd be really fun. My brother and I have been coming up with some ideas. We went to California. We're like out in the desert and stuff. Like, oh man, we could have some really cool, weird stuff.
Yeah,
really throw them conspiracy theorists off their game.
Are there laws against broadcasting on stations?
It's pirate radio.
It is pirate radio.
Yeah, pirate. It's pirate radio is a pretty big thing.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not like huge, but you can get.
But like, is it you can get in trouble for it? Okay.
Yeah, you can find like dead stations, I believe, that are okay to broadcast on.
Right.
But for the most part, it's like because they can't regulate it and they can't do whatever. It's like no, you can't.
Right. But how would they find you?
I'm sure they got every station monitored somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they have to. But then it's just triangulating where it's coming from because it's a radio signal and not a GPS signal.
That's like if you have an antenna in your car or something and you drive around blasting pirate radio over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I've had people's Bluetooth things or the transmitters as they're driving next to me, like cut into my radio. I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
That was right as the breakdown was coming on.
I think Tyler used one of those in his car. It's like a little cassette that broadcasts a small radio signal.
Yep.
so you can listen to your phone stuff without having a aux cord.
Yeah. So I think we're getting really close to time. So I'll end on this story.
Yeah.
When I was really young, we went to Yellowstone with my grandparents, as me and my brother and my aunt and my grandparents, and we had one of the first transmitters, and it was really cool. It had like a big antenna on it, and we just hook our CD player up to it and play whatever we wanted. Also, that was the trip that I bought to a Ladderlist and Nellyville. Love both of those albums. Nelly is amazing. Not Nelly Furtado.
No,
that's
you don't like Nelly Furtado.
No, I do not. But I got the Nellyville album, and I still know most all the words to those songs. We had this really cool transmitter, and once we realized after like we used it to play their music, like, oh, we can fuzz out radio stations. So my grandpa would get this radio station on, and we just slowly turn the dial until we started hearing it, and just slowly fuzz it out. And then he get like kind of irritated and switched the station. Again, slowly phase it out. It happened like 4 times. He's like, "What the hell? What is with this radio?" We're just back there, just slowly doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was because we were in Yellowstone. We went by the Grand Tetons. So this is after the whole radio station thing. Cars silent a good 5 minutes. We're just all quiet. And we're like, "Oh, this Grand Tetons." Nothing. And my grandpa goes, "That means tits." What?
Like, the Tetons.
Tetons. It means tits. Okay. It was
Okay, Grandpa.
It was a little bit past the the time of when that was not going to be shocking, because it was completely silent. It was so funny.
Yeah. I think we're definitely blessed with good radio stations up here in the PNW. I know even if I start driving like closer to the mountains in the east, or if I drive too far south, the radio stations start fuzzing out, and you can't find any good music on the radio. Like, there's just nothing being broadcast worth listening to in those areas. It's weird.
Yeah, every once in a while you find a really weird AM one.
I don't even look through the AM stuff.
Oh, those are the cool ones. You find some weird stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, some weird, like, operatic stuff. It's very, very, very weird. All right, well, I gotta go because I'm really hot. So, all right, everybody, we have a Discord server now. So if you want to join it, we'll throw a link up on our social stuff.
And it'll be in the description below as well.
Exactly. Go ahead and join that and give us suggestions. Tell us what you think. Just come hang out, and we'll interact with you and all of that jazz.
Join the Pop Top community.
Pop Top. I think I want to call them Bimps.
What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, it's saying BPM. It's Bimps. They're the Bimps.
You want to add an I in there?
No, you just BMP. You're sounding out. B-M-Ps.
I don't think that's going to translate over
Bimps.
text. That's not going to translate over text very well.
Oh, no, we can add an I in there, though. We can throw an I in there. Bimps.
I don't know. That's weird.
Tell us what you think. Do you like Bimps?
Or Pop Tops?
Yeah, you want to be some Bimps out there bimping?
What were the other suggestions we got? The beaters?
Yeah, or the beaters. You guys want to be the beaters? I like that one. That's
No.
I mean, that. Although you could take that in a couple of different ways. I don't know if we want to draw that audience.
No beater audience.
Yeah.
People would think we were either really into old cars, or abuse our spouses,
or just we only wear wife beaters.
Or we only wear wife beaters. Yeah,
I mean, with your fuzz, I think you could pull it off.
I think I only own one tank top, and it's black.
I got two.
Yeah, I don't like
the only time that they come out is now.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.
See you next week.
Beers Per Minute has been presented by Stupid Mythic Forest.
New episodes come out on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Don't forget to rate and subscribe so you never miss a thing. Stupid man.